Thank you, Dr. Loretta. You're
Thank
a
you.
hero. We love your products, and we're thrilled, genuinely,
Yes.
to be sponsored by brands we
know and love.
Go to drloretta.com/hags for 15% off your first order using code HAGS. Two best friends, both alike in dignity.
Nurturing phantoms and courting the muse.
The hag divines when something must die.
Yes, that was Poog.
But this is huge.
The ego loves to seek,
but never to find. It was Berlant
and Novak
the whole time. Hello, hello.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Both sick. You with
Both
the proper
sick.
flu, me with unknown.
I mean,
could it be the dryness of the tri-state area, the heaters?
It always could be. This was unbelievable to me, listeners. You may recall in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
The flu came on during the recording of the show.
It crossed the threshold.
I started coughing. Mm-hmm. And I remember going, uh-oh, I'm scared. Like out of nowhere, which is a classic flu onset. Onset.
It is?
Happens out of nowhere.
Really?
And classic thing. Suddenly people, like my friend just had it. She was on a flight and like in the middle of the flight, all of a sudden was like, I'm sick. Like it just hit.
Wow.
And I was coughing. Next day, chest pains. I go, hello. And
That's
of course
wild.
I thought, oh, it's COVID. I was like, I'm having chest pains. I, of course, took myself to urgent care in my new Uggs. Really cozy.
So you got them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I heard something from my niece about the Uggs.
Really?
She heard the app. Yeah, she was like, there was a term we were missing.
Fuck.
She had insights. Anyway,
She probably wants the
find them
Ultra
out.
Minis. She probably is into the Ultra Minis.
I don't know. No, it was more like
I think
she had a
someone
term.
my age shouldn't wear an Ultra Mini.
Right. I don't know.
But
go on.
I took myself to urgent care, and it just the way that I relax when a doctor is near, like, and again, I wasn't suffering in some terrifying way. It was that level, and I think of you talking about this often, that level of sickness where there's almost the delight in I can't take part in the everyday. I have to cancel everything, but I'm not in agony. I'm not in extreme pain. But urgent care, fascinating. Being there alone.
It's the true, it's true health. Okay. So it's gratitude. So this is my framing of this. Okay. It's like, true health means that you can have the flu and not be afraid. Right.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, it's 1996 and you're, it's having the faith that influenza is not taking you out. It's like,
oh, completely.
I mean, an ailment. I love an ailment with
it's in a mild influenza
with a treatment and a solution.
I was at urgent care, a beautiful urgent care near me, and everyone in there was fine.
Gleaming?
Who was suffering in a horrible way.
Gleaming, empty.
No, Cedar Sinai urgent care, not at the hospital, a different location.
Okay, interesting.
But with my insurance, I'm so lucky. $25 to go. $25.
Yeah.
The nurse, I really connected with her. I was into her. She was young. And she made me feel, and I'm just like, just being just a nurse, someone in scrubs looking at me, I feel held. We go through it. She goes, EKG. This other nurse goes, EKG. I start getting nervous, text my mother. They want to give me an EKG. But I guess that's normal when you're having chest pain. The point is, I'll just cut to it. I got the deep internal nasal swab. I got the deep one. This is,
straight to the back.
Then, oh yeah.
Straight to the occipital or occipital.
Exactly.
I always think it's but it's not, like occidental.
But the point is, couldn't believe it. She calls me. She calls me on the phone, 20 minutes later? You have influenza.
Did she say influenza? Okay.
She said,
if she did, I think she's ready to be the third member of the podcast.
And then I'm also met with, of course, the mask. Like, of course, I was wearing a mask the whole time, but people not wearing a mask, I go, wear a mask. Are you crazy? You're in urgent care. If not here, where?
If not here, where? Yeah.
And there was a child coughing into the abyss, maskless.
Always, yeah.
I was just like, all right, put a freaking muzzle.
Coughing generously.
Yeah.
Coughing, coughing a goose for every home, a goose in every pot, spirit with their own germs. Watched a Christmas Carol last night.
Oh, what does that mean?
Carol last night.
Okay.
No, a goose in every pot. I forget who that was. Like Henry the something. I don't know. I get confused. Like something for all, generosity. Saying the child is coughing like a king.
Well,
wanting its own germs in every home.
I was confronted. So I got the diagnosis, right? And then it sets in. It's sad. I can't see my parents for Christmas, right? It's like, okay, Christmas,
Yeah,
ruined,
I believe I
in
recall
quotes.
Christmas ruined. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it does say
Ruined or
that.
ruined. Different.
Ruined. Yeah.
Ruined. Totally different
Ruined.
approaches.
And shout out to All Time Restaurant, which I treated myself. I go, I'm picking up a grain bowl from All Time. I was moaning in ecstasy eating it in the car. I don't know how they make it up so goddamn good, but they really fucking do.
What's in
Tamari
it?
fried rice
Mm.
with veggies. Couple fried eggs on top.
Mm.
Yeah, I added bacon. I almost didn't. I go, don't, thinking a lot about pigs. I go, you're sick. It's Christmas. Get the bacon. Moaning. Ate it in the car. Couldn't wait. The 15-minute drive home was too long. Moaning in the car. They happened. This is huge. Again, I do want to shout them
What
out
is this
for
place called?
Because All Time. It's in Los Feliz. I was eyeing the donuts on the counter. And then I left. I go, well, I shouldn't, sugar when you're sick, whatever, inflammation. Yeah. They threw one in there. They threw in a comped, beautiful glazed donut. So I went home moaning in ecstasy, sad from the sickness, but the flavors elevated me beyond the pain. And that really is the story. And I'm incredibly grateful, knocking on the wood right here. I never got a fever. I'm not out of the woods yet, as you can hear. And here's what's interesting. Different different theories around
starve
contagion,
a fever or whatever. Or feed a fever, starve a cold.
Right, of course.
Wait, you have a little bit of the, which I love, the
sexy rasp?
No, different. It's like when the nasal
hollowness
kind of brings you into like the hair a little
the
bit.
Nasal.
I'm over exaggerating it, but it's like, hi. It's like when I have it, I feel like sweet.
Yeah, it
I
makes
feel
you
like
like
I'm
a child.
a little, yeah.
But I'll say, because the nurse, this whole thing of, my parents, she's like, after 5 days, you're probably not contagious. Also because you're, but then my mom, I heard that, if any symptoms, you could be contagious. So I'm staying the hell away from my parents.
Yeah.
Until I feel completely normal. But
I said, get in front of your red light, get on your PEMF map. I said,
know.
get soups. I said, get shower steamers, which I always.
Here we go. Spewing. Aerosolizing influenza across
that
the room.
microphone.
All across the microphone.
Might want to throw that windscreen into the old detergent laundry. Like you're drinking out of the Air One jar. Get me back to LA. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I want to say I made 2 Christmas. Again, wasn't suffering, thank God, no fever. So I was able to cook. Made some gorgeous stews. And this is what you'll understand. It was also ecstasy. My partner and I, they also had it, but even more mild than I had it. We can only assume they had it. They didn't test. But not being able to see anyone, guess we have to just stay in the home. Incredibly cozy. Lighting a fire, making stews. I made a classic Alison Roman stew. I made an Andy Baragani stew I'd never made that was fabulous. Potato leek, smashed potato, turmeric, leek soup.
You're still on turmeric.
Instead of turmeric?
No, isn't it turmeric? Didn't we discuss this?
You're right. I say turmeric. It's
a lot of people do.
Fuck, what an embarrassment.
No. So I'm diminished without diagnosis, which is always
what do you feel?
Devastating. You can't be a card carrying
influenza carrier.
Exactly. I feel many things. I mean,
well, you were traveling cross continental travel. Weren't you on a plane the day before Christmas? Day before Christmas Eve?
Coughs a million. 2 days before, actually.
Okay.
I managed to get my ass to New York. When did I go? Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Yeah, I got there on Sunday late. And hotel, then made it out to the family. I mean, to recount Christmas feels overwhelming at this moment. We're very excited to have Dr. Loretta sponsoring this episode. I wanted to let everybody know about the Build Your Bundle option on her website. What do? You bundle the products, you get a discount. It's quite exciting. As always, choose your cleanser, choose your exfoliator, choose your serum, choose your moisturizer. Yep, okay. Choose your eye care, choose your sunscreen, choose your mask, choose your accessory. There's a mask applicator brush I didn't know about. If I were to, for the new year, get into the game of applying masks via not just my my mitts, but another way. I'm thinking of getting into their sunscreens beyond, because we've got the one. There's a new one, mineral sunscreen fluid SPF 40 that I've not used. Anyway, we're so excited and glad to have Dr. Loretta. Make sure to go to drloretta.com/hags and use the code HAGS at checkout for 15% off your first order.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Dr. Loretta.
Flying into the new year. Here we go, because let's just say tonight,
Oh,
folks,
and I have
the 31st.
I have Reza fucking Lucians.
I want to go deep. I don't want to get
by
serious.
the way, my life
because
has to change.
It's chaos internally about all that needs to be achieved in the new year.
I was looking at an ADD regulation guide this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain. Regulate. That sounds like regulation guide, like the
Oh, yeah,
national,
like
the government. Yeah.
Having to, like, all about dysregulation.
Oh.
That's the main ADD thing, And I go, I need pharma now.
Yeah.
Doctor, knock, knock, knock.
Well, you know what I did? Did I tell you about downloading this
Look at this.
this clone, this like light AI clone based on this ADHD coach?
No.
And I was
Jenna
like, I'll try the
Kane
clone.
or whatever. That's Jenny Kane. I'm getting confused.
Sweaters.
There's some ADD coach, but I feel like
No, I don't
she's
know
like,
that.
download my free thing, and then it's like, oh wait, this is basically an ad for me to pay for the thing,
Right.
which I guess
Yeah, you gotta
respect.
watch
She
out.
needs to pinch,
We all
she's
need
trying
to-
to make a living.
I downloaded it, brought to tears within minutes, talking to this
No.
AI. It dreads
What'd
shit
they
up.
say?
But I was also saying, like, I'm disappointed right now because I thought you were going to be the answer to everything and you're not. I was crying in a
Yeah.
restaurant writing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it did bring a lot of things to the surface.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I overestimated how advanced this one thing was going to be. But,
Rushing. The rushing
Mhm.
thing, slow down. This is the ADD thing, which we've talked about. More likely to die in accidents or like get your head hit.
oh yeah,
Whatever. The other day I was
Yeah.
rushing so hard, bent over in this really kind of demonstrative, like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
did like a big, like, my prescription sunglasses fell out of my thing. I stepped on them and broke them.
Just
Like-
actually, it's interesting you say that on the 31st when the Twilight Zone marathon historically plays, and Burgess Meredith is in the episode where he steps on his glasses.
We should step on our glasses more, some might say.
But relatedly, you know what? I'm thinking of punishing me and Chris for not being consistent with our Hobonichi Techo or Techo, I forget, our daily planners.
Oh, my partner got me the Hobonichi last year.
Well, here we go. So
and I
I'm
wrote
going.
it maybe 3 times.
So I'm going. So I have a few ideas for this, and some of
For
our
punishment?
yeah. So I'm going. Guess what? I'm buying us again.
Yeah.
For $80 or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're getting
Is
the
it really
dated one.
expensive like that?
I mean, you get Japanese Tomo River paper. You got, there's a lot. There's a
Wow.
lot to it. So I go. No, we're getting it again, and I'm going to buy it every goddamn year
Until
until we get. You know what I mean? Like, no one's off the hook. And then second, I'm going. Had an interesting idea, and I'm scared. But I go. All right. I flip back through it. I see. I go. Okay. There's a lot of blank here. Would it be interesting to do a debrief of the year? And go in, poke around, look at the look at my calendar, my digital calendar, look at the past year, and fill in things that happened and make a
I've
few
done
notes
that.
of it now.
I've done
At
that.
the end of the year, go back in and go, oh, what was July about? Can't remember. Like almost
It's all there.
treat it a little bit more like a scrapbook.
Because the G-Cal, I'm forgetting because I write everything in my G-Cal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Talk about sexless.
I know. Well, that's why. So sometimes I take
This
it
is
back
my
to
life?
the paper.
Yeah. So
I filled it in, but I have a new notebook. My old notebook, same. I'm forgetting the brand. It's not expensive. It's some American brand. And for years, I would write. I was very diligent every day writing what happened for years.
yeah, it's interesting. Do you write with
And I
with a sensuous spirit, or do you? Because
with a what spirit?
I said sensuous, but I mean,
For the Smithsonian.
yeah.
I write for the
Or are you
Smithsonian.
like? Because like sometimes I'm like, okay, let me just really process, right? And I was writing down and using fountain pen, and like a new fountain pen, by the way, from my lover. Pretty excited about it. I'll show you. I'll show you and the listeners when we're live together. But it's like, I'm like, so-and-so said this, and I felt irritated. Okay. And then I'm like, I had beans. Like, I'm like, like this is
Just
the
pure,
most.
where the language is just flowing.
Just no, this is where I go, what are we doing? Do we need 9 journals? Does it all mix into one? Who am I? Which thread of consciousness to which notebook?
I know. Well, I have like 4 notebooks.
Yeah.
And they are organized within my chaos if I know which one's for what.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's crossover. And no, I mean, what I really felt, and this is again, sometimes God gives you what you need, not what you want, right? So I go, well, I needed the flu. I needed the flu to slow me down, to keep me on the couch. So it's like I haven't had at all for feels like for so long.
Yeah.
Just true days of also took Instagram off my phone. I haven't looked in days. I never want to fucking go back.
Well, I got
Lord
a new
knows I
phone
will.
finally, and the passwords and everything hasn't made the full transfer, and so I haven't been able to get into that account or a few others, and I'm like, let's stay here.
Well, I have to find my second phone because my bad phone, my social media phone,
missing.
Yeah, don't know where it is because I went full back Instagram on the main phone. Fucked my life, of course.
What about, huge question, can you post to Instagram from your computer? Okay. I know there are like
No
services for that sort of thing. Load up your posts, whatever, right?
Ugh.
What I'm saying is, imagine if Instagram was only on a designated desktop.
Of course.
Or an old laptop sitting in a corner, and you had to go sit at your secretary's desk.
That's what
to
my
do
bad
that.
phone was. Same psychology, and it really was working for a while.
But you
and I
could
got
still lay on your
re-addicted.
couch with it. I'm wondering if there's something to.
Yeah.
So here's what this is all coming from. You mentioned to me that in the new year, you want to have, and I found this exciting, have your phone use, right?
Cut by 50%, yeah.
Now,
It would still be
my
too
mind
much
started
for my life.
soaring about
Yeah.
how, right? And I had a few ideas. One, because I was getting so frustrated with my phone. I was like, would a picture, like a literal printed out cardboard picture of Zuckerberg sticking out, okay, like pasted to the back of my phone, sticking out his face.
Yeah,
And so every time I go to use my phone, there's a cardboard.
well, it's weird you say
Zuckerberg.
that because I was scrolling on Instagram, my last day of scrolling, one of the last few days, and someone had made like a reel of Mark Zuckerberg, like an AI thing of Mark Zuckerberg peering behind
Really?
walls, and it was like
Oh,
intentionally to interrupt the scroll with like, don't forget you're being surveilled, you're working for fucking Meta, whatever the hell it's called now. These losers keep
just
changing.
another
names.
idea. What about a brace, okay, on the thumb? This is going to be in our store. I'm going to
That
build all
locks.
this. Locks where your thumb can't, it's a splint, okay?
Yeah.
The thumb cannot scroll.
Oh Jesus.
So you have to tap or type. There can be no rotational. It's interesting, right?
Unfortunately, the mind is gonna have to be conquered. I think for it
Really?
completely. Well, I think also just spending like 2 days. I'll
Building
use the R
a
word,
Zuckerberg.
reading
Oh,
and watching the fire.
by the way, the fire. I've been having
Watching
my
the
dad
fire.
make the fire and make it late because I'm up late,
I
laying
mean,
by the
it's
fire.
heaven. It's like it's so beautiful. Really quickly, want to say that my flu today somehow I woke up feeling worse than yesterday, wondering why. Hydration, really poor hydration. I was, of course, the Amazon strike, which I guess is allegedly over now, but how? I don't know. So I haven't purchased anything from Amazon for a week or whatever. And because I refused to cross the line. And as a result, my health has suffered because Element, I purchased Element through the official website.
Mhm.
And I go, this is why Amazon, they have fucked. It's like if I order on
They
Amazon, it would
own
arrive
us.
the next morning.
I know.
With Element, through the official website, 5 days later. I'm going to get it fucking 5 days after I ordered it. Did you watch Conclave?
Sure did in theaters.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it was fun.
Peacock. It's so funny. It's like, did you notice the poster for Conclave? Because it looks like a bad soap opera.
No,
And then you guys went to the trouble to make.
we
like,
actually
a
avoided the
prestige
poster.
film.
Right.
It looks like The Traders. It looks like a reality show.
It's
So
really
funny when the marketing just fails.
Yeah.
Much love to Peacock, but I was like, just pull a still from the film. There's beautiful stills.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a couple ideas. I've actually been pleased by the idea of you, Phantom Thread, like pleased by you being kept by your illness, where I was thinking like I could get you to read or watch certain things because you're lying there bound. Like I
Immobilized.
was like, send something over to you to read.
I was listening to the Phantom Thread score the other day while making soup.
It's
One of my favorite films.
unbelievable. When I saw it, I go, I've never fucking seen this. Never.
Saw it three times in theaters.
Didn't we both see it in whatever millimeter?
I saw it in 35.
Yeah. I was like, I saw it in 2. Or I was like,
Well, yeah. You saw it in 4:4.
yeah.
I also want to say something. This is interesting to me. So I think I said this the last episode. My New York Times cooking app. Did I already bring this up to you?
Yeah.
How it's not working?
Yeah.
And
You
I tried
did.
to chat with a bot about it.
Yeah.
And they go, do I have to call New York Times and go, what's going on? Because they're going to blame it on me. I want a discount. I mean, I'll just keep paying, but it's greatly diminished my ability to use the app. If you can't save the recipe, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, is that the idea? I don't know. I just, your commitment to the New York Times recipes, don't you just feel a little like, I don't know,
No, I'm in the
and
books
every
too.
other one?
I've got but some of them just hit so hard. Today I took out some cookbooks because I know I have been gripped the last few days by cooking, desire to cook, which actually signals joy in the home. And I made brownies, I made stews. I'm gonna make, I made pasta. I'm about to I have a banana bread recipe that I'm obsessed with. That actually is just from the internet, from myrecipe.com. So I'm like, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But it's of course a grain-free, refined sugar-free banana bread with Lily's chocolate chips.
I got some
It's
Lily's right
sublime.
here.
Almond flour.
I've been just eating chocolate in bed, like lying in bed in the darkness.
Why is that one green? She held up
Because this is the
Lily's
extremely dark, 85%.
85.
Yeah.
Wow. What's dark typically? 70?
You know,
72?
varies. What else did I
80.
enjoy?
What does it taste
I was
like?
at Whole Foods going, where's the bread? Have you noticed this? There's the bakery section with whatever bread, and then there's the frozen bread. There's
loaves?
white bread on just like a collection of breads in bags. It's like nowhere. And I heard someone else complaining about it. And then I too was another. What else was I struggling with? I was going, I don't know. I took a long trip through there. I took a long trip through Target. Oh, you know what I'm going down a path with? Huge now. So shopping for Christmas, manically shopping for Christmas, going into all these stores, it kicks me off for shopping. Like I get more into stuff in the first 2 months of the new year because I'm not really thinking about shopping during the rest of the year in a broad sense across categories.
Yeah.
Suddenly now I'm going, okay, I read all these lists or whatever. So right now, huge question, multi-cooker. Okay. I'm doing grain bowls. I'm doing Dr. Gregor's broil, right? Whatever the hell, bulgur, rye, oats, and lentils, right? Or his gluten-free one, I think, is grol, which is like something with a G. What could it be? I don't know. I forget. But anyway, I'm like reading, and then I'm like, which multi-cooker, right? And then I read it. It's like there's so much information there. It's like the people there, they got so much, to say. Anyway, so I'm going there, and then there's this one guy, his like entire torso is burnt, because
Go on his
it exploded. You know what I mean?
No, stop.
And then he had to clarify. He's like, it didn't explode. The multi-cooker didn't explode, but here's what did happen. Okay.
No.
So the issue is this.
No.
Okay. There's two things. So this also happens with heating water in a microwave sometimes. Okay, this is like this. I forget what the word is. It superheats or something. Where if you're in very, very smooth glass, okay, then it's like when you take it out of the microwave, you know, it shatters or it, you know, whatever. It's like, so with the multi-cooker thing, they're like, if, you know, you do the release, right? You have to do the release. Do you cook with one of these at all?
No.
So I don't either,
I
right?
haven't in years.
So I'm going, all right, you do the release. All the steam has come out. All the pressure is gone, right? You take it out. So you take the lid off. You know, you think you're going to be all right. And then when you disturb the surface of the thing with, let's say, a spoon or something,
cold spoon.
That's when it flies, okay? The liquid flies everywhere.
Are you kidding me?
And the issue is, they say, there's a surface tension if there's fat or oil.
Okay, I mean, all I'm hearing is I'm never using a multi-cooker ever again.
I know, and yet, here I go.
I don't want to have to know that if I disturb it, it's going to permanently alter the course of my life.
I know. And then I saw this other guy saying he gets chef's whites or something, which I guess those are not just white clothes. Those protect you from burns. Seriously.
Wow, that makes sense.
Makes so much sense this whole time, you know? But if you agitate it lightly before you disturb it, basically you don't want to have these bubbles of steam trapped below the surface tension. I don't know. It's a lot, but
sounds like a living nightmare.
However, I just cannot seem to get my grains and dry beans situation into a rhythm that's working for me. It's too long, man.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, and then also my other problem, forgetting things are on the stove. So it might be safer for me to have the risk of the multi-cooker.
I hear you.
I mean, anyway, so that's pretty exciting stuff. And then the other question is, what planner do I go with? Do I try a bunch in January? That's big. What else is on my list? Massive purge. Purge. It's begun.
You're onto shopping. I'm completely off shopping because I went hard. I got stuff over, you know, the peak shopping eras. I shopped and now I'm done. I feel no desire and I want to purge and organize. Not even
it's
purge.
Interesting.
I feel like I've purged.
I want to purge. Yeah. I want to replace.
Hope you're enjoying the show, and if you are, and even if you aren't, I'd argue, once you consider doing a premium subscription, you're going to get bonus episodes, an ad-free experience, and video. The experience of watching us, our faces moving and talking, and all of that richness that it brings. There's the dear friend level, there's the out-of-pocket level, there's even an overpaying is erotic level, which is too erotic to even tell you about over here. Check out the link in description, the link in bio, or even just looking at berlantnovak.supercast.com.
I had for the first time a fantasy of not quitting the biz, so to speak, entirely, but I was like, I had this very slowly crept in the thing of like, oh yeah, you know, you hear people, they go, I'm leaving this town, I'm gonna go live a country life, right?
Wow, yeah.
And I've never in my life had this, which is kind of disturbing. Like, wouldn't I have had myself? I identify primarily as an intense fantasist, and to my detriment, live in a fantasy world at times. And I was like, I had this fantasy of living, like this idea of like the other life, the other career of like, well, of course I would have my little shop, my little market, right? And I have my little, and I live to have that for the first time in the bath this morning. Strange.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah. I mean,
and of course I'm not actually, I don't truly have fantasies of leaving showbiz, but
well, still running, doing the podcast. You'd still have the podcast. That's the joke. I become a doctor.
Yeah.
Still have the podcast.
Well, every now and then you have to admit that you could be living a completely different life.
You have to re-choose the life. You have to renew your vows to your life every day, because whether or not you realize it, you are.
And and by the way, New Year's Eve, I mean, hey, we've talked about this in the past. Please revisit the Poog New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions episode. Peabody worthy, if I recall. And
look, I just spread this on my lips.
Yeah,
Dr. Loretta. out of desperation because I
Huh.
don't have anything right now. My lips just went dry as hell. But I was thinking again because I'm still hooked on gear. I want to get us these little lavalier kind of but wireless mics. We clip them to our collar, and then you and
I've
me
got a couple
do.
of those.
I keep talking about this, but wireless,
Yeah.
Kate.
The little fuzzy thing on top.
How the hell do you have that?
I told you I got it because I was going to use it for stand up.
Okay, interesting. So I'll have to get myself
The
some.
box. I haven't opened it.
So I'd love to see it. Which brand? Do you know? Rode, DJI. Who cares?
$100.
Point is, clip it to your neck. I clip it to mine. I still think I know that people want this. Okay, because I'd want it. You and me. Let's just say New Year's purge, audio record. You and me for an hour. Okay, we're purging our stuff together on the phone.
Yeah. And then the listener's purging as well.
Yeah, that's
Excuse me.
That's big, I think. Just talking, going, oh, here we go. Do I need this? Do I not? You know?
I think that I'm realizing that every day not spent in contemplation and reading and worship is a day wasted, and I've lived my life
I know.
in ways that I, stand by, but the phone has to go, and it has to go. And it won't, obviously. I know that it won't, but I have to seriously revisit.
Let's come up with more strategies. I know you say control the mind, okay, but can we just have fun with some strategies? Like, again, I know we talked years ago, the Instagram hat, the heavy 10-pound hat you have to put on.
I know.
Whenever you use
every time
Instagram,
check
which
Instagram,
does require self, whatever, but I'm going, I think Zuck poking up from behind your
Yucky Zucky.
is that a term?
That's
you. Okay, poking up from behind a case with a molded, cut out him poking up from behind.
Totally.
And then I'm thinking, I had this idea that I thought would be cool. Oh, so Googling in bed, custom phone. I started Googling in bed, like I was going to become one of these people down, I was like, I guess I'm going to go Android. I'm going to learn software programming to program my own phone, right? I was like, I decided when I was reading, and I go, I want to train my brain to, while reading, breathe in like box breathing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was going, what if I trained myself that when my eye is passing the first third of the screen or the first quarter of it, I'm inhaling as I'm reading that text. And then I'm the bottom, do you see what I'm saying? Like I train it with reading text and then I was thinking, and I know this must exist if it doesn't already. If not, we can pop it up. We can create it. But an ambient sound that if you align with it, you learn that you know what the inhale is, what the hold is, what the exhale is, sort of guiding you along. So you get into that rhythm. So you're reading, but you're like, how the phone has that thing or the watch or those things that they vibrate in a certain way that cues you like inhale, hold, exhale. It's just like audio track that kind of is doing that, not without a voice, just musically. Get that going in your home. Imagine you have that going in your home as ambient music that was sort of like, and then and you just got in the rhythm.
Sure.
Until it was natural. Hey, you heard of the breath? That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
No, by the way,
heard of taking a breath because
I've got Breath by James Nestor on my fucking shelf for 18 years, but I'm moving toward a monkish life. And of course I'm not, but the desire is there. But it can be achieved through small everyday action. And I, again, haven't fucking, and I'm actually curious, Jacqueline, because I don't know the answer for you. When's the last time you sat down and read a book?
Well,
for pleasure.
I read.
Novel.
Well, if it has to be fiction for pleasure, I mean, I read things that are not.
It doesn't.
Like,
okay, what's the last book you read?
Well, right now. So here's when I read right now. Okay. When I want to relax, I pull out, but I read. I still read on my phone for that. I order books.
Okay, so that doesn't count.
Why?
I'm talking about a physical book because there's all the research shows that reading on a screen, it doesn't. It so fucks you.
I mean,
I'm serious. I'm just
I
saying
think
the
it's a
research.
little
I'm just
unfair
saying
to
the
say that we're the
research.
same. Okay, okay, if I'm finishing books on my phone,
No, that's huge. But my
Yeah.
question was, when's the last time did you read a physical book? I'm talking about like, curled up on the couch, the old whatever the fuck.
let's see, what do I have? So I have the physical books lying around,
Yeah.
but they don't get moved to room to room in the same way. So
Yeah.
they're kind of, it's like reading 12 things at once.
Yeah, totally.
But I've been reading this
Well,
CEO
I'm
book,
just-
Buy Back Your Time, loving it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just saying because I haven't, like, I was like, oh, and I say this with great shame, but I was sitting there reading, brought me great pleasure after a while, but I was like having to reread a simple sentence 3 times because of the lack of the brain,
Mm.
couldn't, I was like, this is fascinating. I have fucked my life. But I'm going to unfuck it. That's my plan.
I mean, if you could get a reading corner going for real, and that corner is devoted.
No, I mean, and then I go, okay, something has to change, and it's actually simple. It's not that much of an overhaul. It's small. It's the New Year's Eve resolution bullshit, but it's true, and it's just oh my God. I mean, cut me off. Listen to me. I just want
know.
to slow down in the new year and really try to ground and be present. Man, are you fucking hearing me? But it's true.
I know.
Can't do it anymore.
Well, the great indignity, of course, is
I'm gonna quit showbiz and start a store. I don't even know what the store is, but
I think it would obviously
I'm gonna have a
be
store.
tinned goods. I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I basically want to have what Alice
Jam.
Roman has. I want to have the
Yeah.
little grocery up and away
Yeah, brick and mortars.
and start adopting children. I thought
Oh,
that'd be
right.
so interesting if last night I was like, what if I said, because I might have kids, I might not, who knows? But I know I won't have 3 kids, right?
Mhm.
I think I'm like 1, 2 seems wild, but
Right.
nothing's impossible.
Mhm.
But imagine if I went, my new life goal is to have 3 children.
Okay.
Can you imagine? 3 kids.
I mean, I can, but you just mean like if you switch to I'm going to have a store
Again,
and a market and 3 kids.
yeah. And I was like, God, what would that? Just the shocking reality of to begin again. Me with my store, my 3 kids.
No, that's very interesting.
Just the idea that I could.
No, it's
One
really
could.
important to realize. No, it's the same
And that's
thing
what
I'm
life,
saying.
that's what is so painful and crushing about life. We can do these things.
Right. That's the existential.
Why?
Well,
Yeah. Again, and I'm not saying that I want to move to have a store and 3 kids, but gripped by the possibility suddenly, for the first time.
no, what does that remind me of? I
Gripped
had
by
an
the possibility
experience.
of a new life.
I picked up a book. So I gasped. I was so happy that a Barnes and Noble opened in my town, after the borders closed years ago, and cultural center for
Yeah.
it to be used to be next to the movie theater, and then for that to close, huge part of my
God.
adolescence.
The Borders.
Right?
I approached Owen Wilson in a Borders
Yeah.
when I was 15
Exactly.
as a fan.
Los
I love
Angeles.
Rushmore.
Yeah.
He did not love that I was approaching him. It's one of my only celebrity
Wow.
approaches I've ever done. Yeah. Well, because I feel bad. I went out to shake his hand, which of course is, but also
That's
I was
cool.
a kid. I was
You're a
14,
kid and you love comedy,
15.
and you're going like, I want to shake your hand, sir. I love Rushmore.
Like, I'm
And
so
it's also
sorry, but Rushmore is
Rushmorean.
just-
It's also Rushmorean.
It is.
You know how often I like to say, I wrote a hit play. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's the best. By the way, I started Jacqueline, the Kite Flying Society at my high school.
When we,
Took it too far.
again, imagine us.
And then I was like, I actually don't care about this.
Wait, hold on. Oh no, everything's fine. Just checking
Okay, go
where my audio is coming in here. But I go in there today and poking around, and there's some book, the plan, something, whatever, and I pull it up. Let's see what this is, and it's like someone, and she's about like compassionate. What is it? Compassionate time management. I'm like, all right, and then it was like free yourself from, the prison of potential and greatness. And I was like, no, thanks. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it while going home. I was like, would I prefer greatness or happiness? And I was like, greatness. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, but also like, you know, make peace with it kind of, right? Like, I'm not saying I stand by that necessarily.
Yeah.
But I like closed the book and sent it back.
Right.
I was like, not today.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I get why that book's there. Like, it's like master the one thing and then go running to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to, you know, to suffer the emptiness of achieving everything you've wanted, you know, and then have to,
Of course.
you know, I'm like, great. Yeah, let me see it means nothing, you know.
Of course.
And I, you know, I'm
drunk in the in the penthouse apartment.
Yeah.
In New York on Christmas alone.
Yeah.
Ah!
I mean, that's why like Scrooge
Looking at
and
old
all
photo
that is
albums,
huge for
throwing
me.
the martini glass against the wall,
Yeah.
shatters.
And then, yeah, there's something I'm like, then I'll know I've really done it. But I've been going. I don't know. There's a lot happening in here. At least I was able to convert a couple family members into the Esselstyn and Gregor lifestyle with three and Clapper, that other guy, 3 back-to-back 15-minute TED Talks. Put them on the TV and just suck them right in.
Oh, you showed them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always satisfying.
Yeah,
Convert
totally.
at the holidays. Meanwhile, my dad today is making an egg. And I'm like, oh no. Right. And I say this as a joke because it's like the joke. I'm like, Dad, enjoy that. It's your last egg. I know 3 months ago, I got you on eggs, or not 3 months ago, but a year ago.
Oh, right.
Like I converted you to the egg, begged you, got you there,
and
convinced
now you're
you.
saying get off.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, you just got to go where I lead. You are at the whims of my
What's
latest.
The big no egg thing?
No, I just mean like if you're going down the no animal protein. Now I'm trying to get them off animal protein back to grain. You know, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Thinking about, I'm dealing with sort of tri-state area. Okay, I'm going, what is it to roll around town and just familiar landscapes, the familiar shape of the buildings.
Yeah.
Their colors, the way the trees look, just the colors of this weather combined with even if the stores at the bottom change, you know, the silhouette on the top.
I was thinking about this today.
Familiarity.
I was thinking
what is
about
it?
the feeling of a hometown. And I was speaking specifically about the horror, the thing that turned on the 6 o'clock news. I know that's the right, like the classic kind of fantasy horror of terror striking at home, right? Turn on the TV. There's a library.
Right.
That's my old neighborhood. Like, like I don't know what I'm. It's just funny you say because just today I was thinking about it.
Recognize